Earlier today, I spoke with a client who is fighting the IRS over a penalty assessment of over $100,000. And in this video today, I'm going to explain to you what happened there, how we fixed it, and how you can avoid this happening to you. If you didn't know it, April 15th is a tax filing deadline for many different types of entities and people in the U.S. For foreign-owned single-member LLCs, you have to file your pro forma Form 1120 with Form 5472 attached by April 15th. If you are a C corporation, if you have an Inc. or a Corp, if you have James Baker Corp. or James Baker Inc. or whatever your company is called, if it's an Inc. or a Corp, you have to file that corporate tax return, the Form 1120, by April 15th. And if you are an individual, a resident of the United States, you live in the U.S. like me, and you are paying taxes, your Form 1040 is due by April 15th. Now, this is a deadline to file your taxes, not to pay your taxes. So if you're a person or a corporation that actually made a lot of money in 2023, and this is for calendar year 2023 from January 1st until December 31st of 2023. If you made a lot of money, this is only an extension of time to file your tax returns, not to pay your taxes. So you should probably calculate how much tax you have to pay and make an estimated or an extension payment by April 15th. If you need help with that, of course, contact us. We can help you with that. But that's something that you definitely have to do. Extension of time to file, not to pay. So if you do owe taxes and you made a lot of money, congrats. I'm proud of you. But you have to pay your taxes by April 15th. Now, we can request an extension of 6 months to file. It gives you 6 months, and it's an automatic extension. I'm going to show you in a minute how to file the extension. I'm going to do one live on the video for you. This gives you, again, an extension of time to file, not to pay your taxes. So if you are an American or a U.S. company and you have many foreign subsidiaries or international transactions and you don't know how to disclose those, file an extension, pay your taxes, and we can figure it out together. So any U.S. corporation that's foreign owned, that has owners more than 25% who are non-U.S. persons, has to disclose all related party transactions. And if you don't, you get a $25,000 penalty per unreported instance. And that's what happened to my client earlier, is they filed their taxes late and they filed these forms late and they got an automatic penalty, right? And if you're an American, a U.S. person like me, and you have foreign companies abroad, you have to disclose those as well, or the IRS will automatically assess you a $25,000 penalty. There's different types of foreign forms depending on the entities and the companies you have, but if you file a Form 5471, which is a U.S. person owning a foreign company, if you file that late, there's an automatic penalty. It just happens. When you e-file your return, they'll assess the penalty. And if you're a U.S. corporation, an Inc. or a Corp, and you have a foreign entity, you own a Colombian company, that Corp does, and they don't disclose it on time or file it late, automatic $25,000 penalty for each company. So this is most prevalent when you have a foreign-owned U.S. corporation. It has to report every instance. So if there's 4 owners that each own 25% and they all took payments from the U.S. Corp, there's 4 separate forms that need to be filed. And if they're not filed, it's $25,000 per form. So I want to avoid that, and I want to make sure that you file your extension and you file those forms correctly. Now, there's 2 ways to get more time, this extra 6 months. The first way is to ask your CPA to file an extension for you, and then ask for them to send you the confirmation. Because just because you ask them doesn't mean they actually file it. The second way is to file the Form 7004 yourself. And for an individual, for a person, it's Form 4868. But I'm going to go over both of those right now. If you're a U.S. person, I mean, you've probably been working with someone or filing your taxes yourself for a long time. It's probably not your first year, so you can file your own extension. But we're going to go over really quickly on a shared screen how to file a 7004, especially for a foreign-owned single-member LLC that has to file this 5472 report. So for any business that wants to file an extension of time it's an application for an automatic extension of time to file certain business income tax information and other returns. This is the form 7004. You put in your name at the top, James LLC, your EIN 98-7654321, your address, my address, Miami, Florida 33131, and then you have to put in this little box right here. You have to put what kind of company you are. So if you are a corporation, you put in 12, Form 1120. If you're a partnership, which are due on March 15th, it's already late, you put in 9. If you were a foreign-owned single-member LLC, you put in 12, 1, 2, and at the top up here, you can't do it in this mode, but you have to type in foreign-owned USDE. on the heading. You have to type it in the heading. So I'd have to download it, edit the PDF, or print it, write it on top, and then mail it in. If you go down here, we have to fill out the bottom really quick too. If the organization is a foreign corp that doesn't have an office or place of business, you check here. This isn't a foreign corp, this is a U.S. company. Nope, no consolidated return, none of that. If it's a partnership for this purpose, that doesn't apply. The application is for calendar year 2023 or for tax year, and that's for a short year or a weird fiscal year. And that's it. You have to put that 2-3 right there. It's really important because they won't know what year it's for. And you can mail this yourself to the IRS, certified mail, so you have proof that you actually sent it. Okay, now back to my client. The reason they had this huge penalty is because they filed their returns both late and incorrectly. So they were working with tax people in another state who didn't know what they were doing, apparently. They didn't file the extension on time, and then when they filed 4 forms, 5472, with the corporate return, and they got an automatic $25,000 penalty for each instance. Luckily for us, I was able to explain to the IRS why they shouldn't have filed this form and get the penalties abated, and we got through it with reasonable cause, but it's not always the case. I have clients that have not been able to get this abated. They've had big businesses and they just had to pay it. New things have happened. There's new court cases pending that make it harder for the IRS to collect these type of taxes and these types of penalties, but it's still something that it's best to just avoid in the first place. If you need help filing an extension or making sure that your tax forms are correct, I encourage you to schedule a call at jamesbakercpa.com/schedule. There's a link in the description. And file your extension by April 15th. It's form 7004. If you have informational forms, if you're an American or U.S. corporation that has foreign companies or foreign owners or whatever, you have to disclose this. And if you're a foreign-owned single-member LLC, you still have to file an extension like everyone else, but you need to write that foreign-owned USDE at the top of your 7004. And that's all I really want to talk about in this video. I'm happy to help you do your taxes. Otherwise, good luck doing it yourself, and good luck following these instructions. Hopefully, you learned something here, and I'll see you in the next one.